potholes on the street, the lights aren't synchronized, the boardwalk is filthy dirty. And Don and I voted for the $100 million boardwalk fund to improve Atlantic City. Has it been improved? Absolutely not. So until Atlantic City, with the help of the state, can get it clean, can get it safe, nobody's going to reinvest here. And it's unfortunate because Atlantic City is the last seaside town that has an opportunity for people to buy second homes. And people don't want to buy over there because they don't have any confidence in the government over there. So until we come up with a game plan and a new governor, the state's going to have to oversee the state of Atlantic City for a while.
Ms. Famularo.
I don't think the people of Atlantic City have a problem with having the state in their city. The state has been able to increase the amount of money to balance the budget in Atlantic City. It has increased the credit rating of Atlantic City to make it investment grade. I firmly believe that there are people who would give their left arm to buy into Atlantic City right now. Because it is a
Please,
diamond
can we apply to the
rough.
audience?
If the people of Atlantic City should have a say in how their government is run. It shouldn't be taken over by the state. And this is not a state takeover. This is just a finance overseeing, like a fiscal monitor would be in a school district. So I don't have an issue with it.
Ms. Rowan, same question.
As a resident of Atlantic City, I take it personally when there is such extreme criticism about the city. The city is a vibrant, diverse community, and Ms. Swift's criticisms, I don't know how she makes them because I've never seen her in Atlantic City. When the NAACP invites her to an event, she doesn't come for both the primary and the general election. Atlantic City is thriving. Does it still have problems? Yes, but it is an urban environment. People lose sight of that. It is clean, it is safe. People are investing.
Please, quiet.
People are investing. The Kushner properties, they're going to build townhomes.
Please continue.
Thank you. So I believe that the state takeover is, I think Atlantic City is moving towards no longer needing state oversight, and people should not criticize it unless they come there and live there.
Thank you. Ms. Swift, you will get a 30-second rebuttal, but quick reminder to the audience, we just want to make sure the viewers at home are able to hear the candidates' responses, so please, if we can have quiet during the answers, that would be great. Ms. Swift.
Miss Rowan, she's got guts saying that I'm never in Atlantic City. I graduated from Atlantic City High School. You were a Pennsylvania resident. You moved to Atlantic City to go, after you were ousted out of Philadelphia, to move to your condominium during COVID. How long have you been a registered voter in Atlantic County? 2 years? And then you think you're going to come to South Jersey and run for New Jersey Assembly when you don't even know the issues? How many times have you been to Stockton University? When you walked in the door today, you didn't even see that you've ever been here. I've been coming to Stockton University and throughout Atlantic County my whole life.
Thank you.
Thank you for friendship.
Can I respond, please?
Then we're going to move on to a couple other Atlantic City questions.
Okay. First of all, I taught at Stockton, so I'm very familiar with Stockton, contrary to your representations. I moved, unlike the people on the stage, to Atlantic County to make it my home. I chose Atlantic County to be my home. I think that's an important distinction. I did not move here to run for office, but I am qualified to run for office. We need a change in the assembly, and I will be the best person to bring that change. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We have...
I'm sorry. She said when we were on the stage, when I'm from Atlantic City, I moved to Atlantic
No,
City. That's all.
Thank you, thank you.
I
We
stand
do-
corrected.
We do have two follow-up questions on Atlantic City. In the interest of time, let's do 30 seconds each for these two questions. So, should casinos move back to paying property taxes instead of the payment in lieu of taxes or pilot program? We'll start with Ms. Swift on this.
With me?
Yes.
Okay. So the pilot program is, let's go back to 2018. We had the Atlantic County, we had the financial crisis in Atlantic County in 2008. 2010, we had the highest foreclosure rates in Atlantic County. 2012, we had Hurricane Sandy. And, you know, there was a lot of instability. 3 casinos closed, so they initiated a pilot program in 2016. In 2027, they wanted to amend it so that online gaming would be included. But that was because during COVID, well, 30 seconds.
We'll do a full minute.
30
for everyone.
seconds is enough at this point.
Understood. We'll do
Yeah.
a minute for everyone.
So the casinos needed stability in 2016 because of all those issues that went on in Atlantic County. I mean, the weather can determine the economy here. In 2027, they wanted to not include online gaming. And our predecessors voted for that. Online gaming created millions of dollars during COVID in 2020. So there needs to be stability. We need to keep looking at it on a case-by-case basis. It can't be a blanket law. And but we can't have this on the taxpayers of Atlantic County either.
Thank you.
They need to pay their fair
We
share.
are out of time on this one. Ms. Famularo, the same question on the pilot program.
If you talk to anybody in the city of Pleasantville, you'll know that I'm not a big proponent of pilot programs. However, I am a big proponent of keeping Atlantic City moving forward. And if the casinos have to pay a pilot program instead of regular property taxes, I say so be it. I'm glad that Denny Levinson took them to court, took the casinos to court to be able to get what the county needed as far as their fair share, because I do believe that they also, especially the casinos in Atlantic City, should contribute to the county share of their money and also to the school districts, because those are 2 things that pilot programs do not contribute to. So I'm glad Mr. Levinson did that. But yes, I'm in agreement with pilot programs.
Thank you. Ms. Rowan.
At a minimum, I think the pilot program should go back to what it was originally with regards to the definition of gross revenue. It should be amended again to make sure that gross revenue includes online gaming and sports betting, because it is my understanding that now online gaming brings in more money than in-person gaming. So at a minimum, the gross revenue should be revised again to include online gaming for the pilot program.
Thank you. Mr. Ernie.
Thank you. So the value of property of casinos in Atlantic City is $3 billion, non-casinos $3 billion. So if we get rid of the pilot, we can't go back to that because you double the cost for non-casino owners in their taxes. The pilot pays about $50 million from the casinos right now to both the schools and the city, $50 million each. But another $125 million comes from IATs. That's the money casinos pay to CRDA and gives to the city. It's a critical part of that. I do commend Denny. He didn't sue the casinos, he sued the state of New Jersey. The state of New Jersey said, yes, indeed, internet and sports gaming should be taxed and given to the county. I would say it also should be taxed and given to the city. I was here 12 years ago when we talked about the pilot, and it was always understood that internet and sports gaming taxes would be shared by both the county and the city. We need to address those issues. We can't get rid of the amount of money the casinos are paying.
Thank you. This next follow-up, I think we can do in 30 seconds. So let's try for 30 seconds here. Should casinos continue to be exempt from the state's ban on indoor smoking while every other business operates under it? Ms. Famularo, we'll start with you.
Should they be exempt from it?
Yes, should they still?
I believe that we should go with the Brazili bill, Berricelli bill, which stipulates that 25% of the casino floor would be set aside for smoking. It would be an enclosed area, it would have their own high-vac system, and it would be up to the dealers to decide whether they are working there. I understand that we need to put the health of our employees first, but we also need to put the economic health of Atlantic County in there also.
Thank you. Ms. Rowan.
As we all know, this is a highly disputed issue. Some people that work in the casinos absolutely want no smoking. Other workers are fear that it will affect the bottom line, the revenue, if there is a smoking ban. My suggestion would be to have a study by a totally objective, independent person to see whether or not banning smoking would in fact affect the revenues. If it does not, I would agree to a ban of smoking.
Thank you. Mr. Arthur.
Secondhand smoking kills. We all know that. It should not be allowed anywhere. We removed it from our restaurants, we removed it from our bars. You can't smoke on the boardwalk, in parks, on the beach. You can only smoke in casinos. That's not fair to the people that have to work their lives because it's the only job that they can afford to live in Atlantic County. We banned it in every other state. It's just Pennsylvania, New Jersey that puts the selfish interest of casinos before the health of the individuals that have to be there. And so let's ban it in Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Thank you. Ms. White.
Well, Assemblyman Don Guardian, myself, and Senator Vince Palestina co-sponsored a bill to ban smoking in the casinos. All employees in New Jersey should have the same rights as other New Jersey employees. If Pennsylvania bans smoking, we should immediately ban it. And we're hoping that during the lame duck in November and December, when we go back to Trenton, hopefully this bill comes up and we will be voting to ban smoking in the casinos. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Ms. Rowan, this next question, we'll start with you on this one. Galloway, Epseek, and Atlantic City have all expressed concern about homelessness. Some towns have even claimed that cities in Ocean County are sending homeless to the region. When crafting policy related to homelessness, how do you balance the need for public safety and the positive perception of the city and support and dignity for the homeless?
Homelessness is a problem all across the country. It's a tragic problem because I believe everyone in this room should realize that everyone is probably one step away from homelessness. So first of all, we have to guide our decisions with compassion and understanding that this could happen to anyone. We need more homeless shelters. We have to encourage the homeless to accept wraparound services such as mental health treatment, drug treatment, whatever they need. Because if they don't accept those wraparound services, they will end up back on the street. But again, our primary focus should be dealing with this issue with compassion and understanding. And we need more homeless shelters and wraparound services.
Mr. Guardian?
But we need to do a better job. It's very unfair that we're not providing more services for the homeless. It's a complicated issue. Yes, we need housing. Yes, we need help with substance abuse. Yes, we need help with mental health issues there. We have more than 40 organizations and agencies. Claire and I and Vince Palestina have met with them. We're trying to coordinate that because the same groups are doing the same issues. We need to bring them together so that the tens of millions of dollars that the state is presenting in Atlantic City and Atlantic County can come under one group. Atlantic Care would be seen to be the logical one because they have the medical and health backgrounds to be able to address these issues. And they can see whether it's the different services, Catholic Charities, Jewish Family Services, the Mission, the Salvation Army, to name a few, that can work together. But homeless issues is something that we've got to be able to help with.
Ms. Swift?
We need to continue to work with law enforcement and the prosecutor's office to address this issue and to provide services for the homeless. It is a big issue. We had a meeting about it today. Last year, Senator Vince Palestina, Don Guardian, and I held a forum where we had all of the organizations come together and talk to them about what they need. We had law enforcement there, we had the prosecutor's office there, we had Jewish Family Services there, we had people from the rescue mission, and literally it was a 2-hour forum of what we can do. So we are in constant contact with all these organizations to provide services. We like to say that our legislative office is a place where you can come, get information, and then we can lead you in the right direction. So we can pass legislation to help. A lot of these organizations have red tape and they can't get things done. We were talking to people dealing with the VA. We are always trying to help the veterans, and we're trying to organize the veteran organizations to address this issue because it is a big issue with homelessness and alcohol and drug abuse.
Ms. Famularo?
There but for the grace of God. I believe that there are plenty of places that we could house the homeless. There are hotels on the Black Horse Pike. I don't mean those little hotels that get flooded out, but there is a hotel that is above ground that has probably close to 100 rooms that you could house people in. As far as red tape, look, this is an issue that needs to be dealt with and dealt with immediately. These people need help. There shouldn't be any red tape. Do it, get the job done, get these people in houses so that they can get all those wraparound things that they need to help them. One of the biggest problems is that they don't have a permanent address so that they can even collect the things that are due to them medically, to be able to vote, to collect a check. They don't have bank accounts. So whatever red tape there is, eliminate the red tape.
Thank you. The region was just hit with a nor'easter, and the risk of coastal flooding and beach erosion continues to rise. The federal government has not budgeted any money for beach protection in 2026. What can the state do to ensure that its dune system offers the protection that it needs? Mr. Guardian, this one starts with you.
So there's no question that we, as in many areas of New Jersey, live below the water level. We have to continue with bulkheading, raising roads, raising homes. Those are all issues. The beaches are very important to our economy, so we've got to make sure that we continue to look to the best ways that we can protect our beaches. But we've got to be prepared for flooding. We know that we get nor'easters, and every so many years we get a hurricane. We've got to do a better job of providing housing for everyone, being able to raise those houses so we can live in a safe environment. The concept of raising it above 12 feet above mean sea level is just foolish. It would make you live on the third floor of a home before you could actually be safe. So I think we need to stick with the 12 feet above sea level. We've got to help people that can't afford to raise their homes. We've got to do everything we can to protect people. But yes, it's a major issue that we have down here. We have to continue to address it.
Thank you, Ms. Swift.
Yes, Atlantic County has a lot of water around it, whether you're on the island or inland, Lee's Landing, all over this district, there's a lot of water, and we have to constantly maintain that. You know, we put the dunes on the beach in Atlantic City and down the beach, but we never did anything about the dredging. The Back Bay has not been dredged since Hurricane Sandy. So when we live down here, we need to have money set aside to protect our waterways. We need to work with the DEP and CAFRA. We talk about red tape. It's very difficult to get through to them. And things need to be fair and equitable. As Don Guardian said, this law that they want to pass that makes everybody have to raise their houses a certain height, it's not fair. It's not equitable. It doesn't make sense. We need a common sense approach to that people are not going to lose their houses because they didn't follow the policies that just don't make sense. But we have to constantly maintain our waterways.
Ms. Famularo.
How about people that can't get to work and drive to their houses? Because the Black Horse Pike, we have 3 major roadways into Atlantic City. The Black Horse Pike, the White Horse Pike, and the Expressway of Atlantic City. Last week, two of those 3 major roadways were flooded. I've heard I think there's a song, the same old tune. It's the same old thing. The road is flooded, put up the little orange cones and make the people use the expressway. It was a state of emergency. The state senator said use the expressway and then charge the people when they use the expressway because they haven't done their jobs. They haven't raised the roads to stop this flooding.
Ms. Rowan.
The best way to stop the flooding is to solve the underlying problem, which is causing beach erosion. There has to be a recognition that climate change is causing the beach erosion. And I believe some Republicans, I'm not sure what Mr. Guardian or what Ms. Swift's position is, do not believe in climate change. We have to address the fact that beach erosion is caused by climate change. So we have to enact policies that address climate change. This is becoming more difficult because of the current occupant in the White House, who I believe Mr. Guardian and Ms. Swift support, is cutting credits for all clean energy projects. He just canceled a huge solar project in Nevada, which was going to provide power to over 2 million homes. So until we come to a solution of the underlying problem causing beach erosion, we're going to continue to have the flooding.
Thank you. Quick rebuttals here from the incumbents, if you'd like, before we move on.
No, I absolutely agree. We've got to deal with the issue at every level, and that is one of them.
We're going to do 30 seconds on this next topic for responses. Millions of New Jersey residents depend on mass transit for work, school, and daily errands. New Jersey Transit, the statewide bus and rail agency, has struggled to maintain regular service at times, especially in South Jersey. How would you improve New Jersey's transit service to South Jersey? Ms. Rowan, Ms. Swift?
You are correct, the transportation is pretty dismal down here in South Jersey. The buses need to be improved, they're just too big. We need to work with the stakeholders, we need to pass legislation to maybe get them more funding, because it's upsetting that we don't even have a decent train system here in New Jersey. So, working with the Trenton, working with the other stakeholders to make sure that we can improve transportation down here in South Jersey, because it is an issue.
Ms. Famularo?
Last night at the city council meeting in Pleasantville, we just authorized the use of county roads to be part of the access link system so that it narrows down where they can actually go. It expands where they can go instead of narrowing it down. Look, we don't have trains, we don't have planes, we do have automobiles that can't get across roads because they're flooded. So we need to do something. And my suggestion would be to put new people in there with new ideas to get things
Ms.
done
Rowan?
in Atlantic County.
Thank you. New Jersey Transit was actually one of my former clients. So in this budget that Mr. Guardian and Ms. Swift voted against, there was funding for New Jersey Transit, both for operations and for capital improvements. This also goes back to clean energy. Let's get the cars off the road. Let's improve our rail system. Let's improve our bus system, our mass transportation system. As I indicated in the budget, there was funding for that. Mr. Guardian and Ms. Swift voted against it, so they must not be in favor of
Mr.
mass
Guardian.
transit.
So mass transit is a mess all over New Jersey and New York. We know that it almost is non-existent down here. Our buses run along the same routes that the old trolleys ran. A bus passes my house every 30 minutes. Rarely is there anyone on it. Camden is the one city we should look for. They have what's called affordable Uber. It's $2. You call, they come pick you up at the house. They take you the way you need to go. That's the new type of thinking that we need to provide transit for everyone in New Jersey, South Jersey especially.
Thank you. Last topic before closing statements here.
But too. I'm proud to say that Senator Vince Palestina, Don Guardian, and I did pass legislation. It was a transportation bill that provided funding from the Atlantic City Airport into the Atlantic City Tourism District. So we did do legislation to help with transportation here in Atlantic County, and we will continue to do that.
Last topic before we get to closing statements. New Jersey's Immigrant Trust Directive limits how locals and state police can cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. Some argue it builds trust between immigrant communities and law enforcement, while others believe it restricts officers from doing their jobs. Do you think the state should maintain the current policy, strengthen cooperation with federal authorities, or make other changes? How would you approach this issue as a member of the Assembly? Let's do 30 seconds on this because we are running close to the hour here. And this begins with, excuse me.
Mr. Guardian, I think.
No.
Ms. Rowan?
No, sorry.
Is it me?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can start
sorry.
with you. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. I am in favor of the Immigrant Trust Directive, and I'm in favor of keeping the Immigrant Trust Directive. With the excesses that we have all seen of ICE pulling people out of cars, grabbing people off the streets with their masks on. And these can be citizens and non-citizens. So the Immigrant Trust Directive provides a check on the excesses that ICE is now demonstrating. In effect, the Immigrant Trust Directive provides due process for everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Guardian.
So we were able to handle 10,000 people a day when we had Ellis Island. It's a disaster right now on a national basis. We need to close our borders. We need to actually deport people that are here illegally, that have broken the law, and we've got to find a way for people that have been here 10, 15, 20 years, that are living and working here, to have an easy way to become a U.S. citizen. They come here for a better life for themselves, for the grandkids that haven't even been born yet. We need to fix immigration the way it exists right now.
Swift.
Well, look at last summer. They tried to dump 40,000 illegal immigrants right here in Atlantic County to the airport. And even the Democrats, Mayor Small and the other Democrats, did not want that to happen. Why? We don't have the infrastructure for it. Our hospitals can't accommodate them. It's not feasible and it's really not affordable. So you have to look at this by a case-by-case basis. This is something, we need to know, these people need to be held accountable. We don't have the infrastructure here in Atlantic County, and even the Democrats agree with that.
Ms. Famularo, same question.
That whole airport thing is nonsense. That was never going to happen. Atlantic City Airport was put on there as one of the places, but it was never going to happen. It was never going to receive anybody, because once again, I brought it up at a city council meeting because they wanted us to vote on the bill that the Republicans had introduced. It was craziness. There was never any substance behind it. And, you know,
Thank you. Thank you. We are running short on time here. We're approaching the hour. We need to fit in closing statements. So again, as a reminder, the order tonight was predetermined with the candidates. Closing statements, you have 1 minute each, and we're starting with Mr. Guardian.
So thank you, whether you've come here in person or whether you're listening at home. It's been great to have an opportunity to discuss the issues that are important to Atlantic County. Claire and I have worked with both parties. We worked with our legislators in both North and South Jersey. We have a lot of key issues coming up. Certainly casinos outside of Atlantic City need to be stopped, along with the concept of a second state convention center that they want to build up in North Jersey. Housing continues to be an issue that we have to address to make sure that we have both market rate housing and affordable housing, and energy continues to be a prime source that really needs statewide intervention. We need to address all these issues. I think that we're very proud that we have 2 offices in Atlantic City and Egg Harbor Township. We are able to deal with about 10,000 people each year and helping to provide services to them. And with your support, we'd like to continue that for the next 2 years in Trenton. Thank you.
Ms. Famularo.
I was born here in Atlantic City. I've lived most of my life in Atlantic County. This place is very near and dear to me. I think we need less talk and more action. Talk is cheap. Talk doesn't get you anywhere. Doing the job, rolling up your sleeves, doing the hard work that people expect you to do is what's going to make Atlantic County a much better place for everyone to live and to enjoy as people coming here for tourism. We need so many things here, but we need to focus on what the citizens of Atlantic County need. And they need reduced electric bills. They need to make sure that their property taxes aren't going sky high. They need to know that their schools are going to be funded and not to send their kids out of the county to schools, but to send them right here in Atlantic County.
Thank you, Ms. Swift.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve in the Assembly along with Don Guardian and Senator Vince Palestina. I'm proud of the work that we've done. We work as a team. We work with our county representatives that are here today. I love helping our constituents. People come to us every day and tell us how much we've helped them, whether it be the anchor program or workers' unemployment. We do what is best for Atlantic County. We don't go to Trenton and just vote yes, yes, yes. We look at every single bill. We make sure that it's going to work for Atlantic County. Yes, I agree we should be diversifying the economy. That's why I'm proud that we did vote to bring in millions of dollars for Atlantic Care and Stockton. Money for the Aviation Research Park, money for roads and bridges to create jobs down here in Atlantic County. Yes, we need to get things more affordable. We have to deal with the property taxes. The utilities have to get under control. So I'm looking forward to running in the 3rd term with Don Guardian and continuing to do the good work that we have. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today.
60 seconds, excuse me.
Thank you. Thank you again to the press and to Stockton for hosting this debate. My journey as a political candidate has been interesting, challenging, and enjoyable. However, the most rewarding part of my journey has been meeting so many wonderful people across Atlantic County, most of whom shared their concerns with me that life was becoming unaffordable here. I am uniquely qualified to address these concerns because I will be able to successfully advocate for policies that will lower energy bills, that will make housing affordable and attainable, and that will, unlike Mr. Guardian, Mr. Swift, Ms. Swift, Mr. Guardian, no offense, that will expand property tax relief and that will expand economic development in Atlantic County. Thank you very much. I believe I will be an effective and excellent representative for the people of Atlantic County.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Youth Center for Public Policy as adopted and the press of Atlantic City, I want to thank all of you for participating tonight, and thank you to the viewers. We'll see you next time. Take care.